Hello everyone, it's Robin from In Flow Chiropractic here, and in this video I'm just going to be talking to you about the 3 T's. So one of the most common questions that I've always got throughout my career is, Robin, what has caused my low back pain? And yes, I could come up with all sorts of stories about, oh, it's because you did this, or oh, it must have been because of that, but essentially it always boils down to the 3 T's. And what they are thoughts, trauma, and toxins. Alternatively, some people say physical, chemical, or emotional stress. So it always boils down to either a combination of or one of those 3 T's: thoughts, trauma, or toxins. So we're going to start with each one by one. We're going to start with the most obvious, and that is trauma or physical stress. It's just pretty simple as you can imagine. You've either got 2 ways of physical stress. You've either got creep or you've got sudden impact. So sudden impact, very blunt, very easy to say. You fell over, you did something once, it was way too big for your body to handle, and it ended up causing pain, or ended up the function of your body to go down, ending up in pain. So one is trauma, you can have it bluntly at once, like an overload, or 2 is creep. Creep is like when you have, let's say, a bad posture, or you're sitting at a desk for too long, or you might be a nurse and you're having to pick up people and the elderly, or you might even be in a wheelchair and naturally sat down all the time. So what this creep is doing is just like micro traumas, little bit by little bit over time, which eventually cause pain, or to bring you to a level of function which causes pain. So this is really much the analogy of the 1,000th straw that breaks the camel's back. So this is really common. Creep is really common for people that tell me, oh, my pain just came on one day. I wasn't doing anything in particular, it just happened. And the most common cause of that is creep from trauma. Built up little micro traumas over time that have built up into this big problem, which has now eventually caused pain. So that's T number 1, which is trauma. Next, we're going to move on to thoughts. Now, thoughts is a really interesting one, and it's pretty self-explanatory. It's, all sorts of thinkers and professional development people and coaches and even religious leaders, they like to talk about how our thoughts impact and shape our reality. So what this means is basically, if you don't look on the bright side of life and you're always negative, oh, I'll never get better, it's always going to be worse, everything I do seems to be painful, nothing ever seems to work for me. It's very negative. And when you're thinking about that constantly, that's literally going to have an impact on your physiology. We've got all sorts of research that's coming through about how thoughts impact our physiology as well. So it's a really interesting topic. And basically, if we're always thinking of the negative things, we're going to manifest negative things in our physiology. So if you think that back pain is going to be with you forever, or you're never going to be able to get fixed, or it's never going to get better, chances are that's the way it's going to be. So if you really have more positive thoughts, or create a plan using your thoughts, right, to get better, I'm going to do this, and it's going to take this amount of time, it's a process which I'm going to commit to, and over time I'm going to do the action steps that are necessary for me to get better. That's all using your thoughts. So by having your thoughts either with positive goals, or by setting strategic plans, you can really use your thoughts to get yourself better. Alternatively, you can be grumpy. No one likes Mr. Grumpy. When you're looking down and being all negative all the time with bad posture like this, it's not going to do you well in the long run in terms of your body, your physiology, your health, and ultimately the quality of your life. So that is T number 2, that is thoughts. T number 3 is toxins, and this is quite an important topic as well. Toxins is also as simple as you might think. People that are smoking, they're putting lots of toxins into their body, which really stresses the body and causes it not to work very well, especially when it comes to rest, digest, repair, reproduce. All these nice things that the body's trying to do naturally. Things that stress the body, such as nicotine and the tar that's in cigarettes, or alcohol, or dairy, or gluten. All these things that the body is not naturally used to processing, it's going to have an impact on your ability to heal and your ability to get better physiologically. So that's T number 3, which is toxins. So the best thing that you can do to, the healthiest toxins you can put in your body, essentially, just plain old water, not drinking too much caffeine, obviously not smoking or drinking. Try and avoid things that are very inflammatory, such as gluten, dairy, processed foods, deep fried foods. All these things are just quite inflammatory, which causes the body to go into a fight and flight response rather than a rest, digest, repair response. And when we stay long enough in the rest, digest, repair response by fueling our body with the toxins that it's most happy with, we're going to have better healing outcomes. So those are the 3 T's: thoughts, trauma, and toxins. And they all combine to basically manifest our life and create, cause us to have pain, or to cause us to not have pain, to cause us to be diseased or diseased, not having ease in our body, versus having less of those thoughts, traumas, and toxins that are causing that, and having a bit more of a positive outlook and creating and cultivating positive habits, and ultimately cultivating wellness and health over time. So that's the 3 T's, guys. I hope it was nice and simple for you. If you like the video, please do hit the like. It just helps the YouTube algorithms for more people to be able to see this and educate themselves about health. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.